How Nocturne works is that when he casts, he start to damage to the sides as well. So in kind of like in a cone, right? So you want to build. I think the best in slot will be Deathblade and BT plus an attack speed item on him. But this is a fully capped sorcerer board that I'm beating here. On level 7 versus level 9, and this guy is just going ham. I feel like I'm almost losing here, but then it really starts to pop off and it just deletes the entire board.
Hey guys, welcome to TFT Talks episode 3 with the Diamond Dads. We've all been playing the PBE for a couple of weeks now. Well, not a couple of weeks, I guess it's been about 1 week. And we'd like to just share meta predictions today on what we think you're going to be able to climb with on launch day. I'm joined here today by our coach, Axovax, and Junior Mafia 1701. First thing we wanted to do was talk a little bit about Worlds.
Yeah, we watched it together. I think it was amazing, especially the last game. Super exciting. Title won. So congrats to, I guess, Japan and his team, Zeta. I think it was very convincing, especially the last game. And I'm a bit proud because he plays on my server, and I probably helped him with some LP points to reach this stage. So
just donate in that LP.
Yeah, donating the LP. It was funny. I jumped on after for a game or two, and in the chat, everyone was really happy on the server as well. It's good for Japan, TFT, and APAC dominated as well. So in top 10, I think there were 6 APAC players or something. Oh, we can check.
Yes, it was 5 APAC players. I guess it was 5 APAC players, 1 China, and 2 EMEA, right?
Yes, correct. And no North America, no Americans at all in the top. So interesting. Yeah, I think it's our region is coming up pretty strong in TFT. I have a theory that it's because the servers are so small, so the top players get matched with top players more frequently. So I do think it's a very strong, top heavy, strong competition in our
So
servers.
you mean when they're playing their ranked games, they're always against the best, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's for us also. It's easier to match up with really high elo players. If we were playing in NA, we would never get matched with Disso, for example. But it's much easier to get matched with anyone from Zeta on Japan, or I played on the Singapore server with the top guys as well. So I think it's good. It's good. I'm curious to see what set 13 brings.
Well, that explains why I had such difficulty climbing last set. I think that's the reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to explain myself as well.
I'm no good because the competition is just too high.
Exactly. Yeah, and set 13 is launching, I guess not tomorrow, but the day after. But whenever we drop the video, it's probably already launched. A few news regarding that. There's the usual BoxBox Bootcamp. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this. It's a pretty interesting competition format where streamers and also the general player base like to compete on for ladder points, basically. Not for ladder points, but climbing. It's like a climbing competition. Whoever climbs higher in a certain amount of time compete for a lot of prizes. I think there's $50,000 on the line, plus a shit ton of loot in-game currency as well, plus skins. So it's something that a lot of players play from around the world. Unfortunately, it's only on NA server, so you have to climb on the NA ladder for this. But I heard there's one very similar one launching in EU as well. Everyone will jump on. I think YBI1, like the top players from around the world will compete in this, and then they will, when this is over in NA, then they will go back to climb their respective ladder regionally.
Right. So the regional sweats won't be on in Asia at the start. They'll all be
Yeah, I mean
in NA.
we can check the pro list here. Well, I'm not sure if we will know anyone from here, but like Soju's is there. I know YBY1, Milala, I've seen his name, is there. YBY1 is there. He's the Vietnamese pro.
Yeah, lots of people.
It's actually
Sub-Zero
only-
Arc. You know.
Yeah, Vision Eye version. So yeah, a lot of guys are competing in this. We'll see. I will follow it. I was thinking to sign up on the non-streamer league, but I just want to grind the local servers at start. So
Yeah, probably focus on your main account this set.
yeah. So that's the first competitive thing to watch out for, and I think we can all share a bit about our first impressions because we played we played the beta for about a week now, and I'm really happy it's only a week. This PBE, because the previous one was I think 2 weeks or 2.5.
Yeah, it was pretty long.
It was pretty long, and honestly, I got bored of PBE even before the set launched because there is no real, points to gain, nothing to climb or grind for.
Yeah.
So I think this 1 week was pretty cool.
Yeah, I sort of a couple of days ago stopped really, although you caught me playing Scrap today twice, but I sort of started mucking around a little bit more towards the end. So I'm excited to go in and really play some hard meta comps and try grind for Plat 1.
Yeah. What are your first impressions this set?
I think it's fun. I think the anomalies and all the augments are going to take a lot of effort to really suss like what's good without it being hard data collected. I think there's going to be a lot of discussion between the three
for
of
sure.
us.
I think that the anomalies are adding like a crazy other knowledge or skill cap to the game where we've seen it in Worlds how dominating was the What the Forge augment, which turns all your items into artifacts, and it was dominating because pros know these combinations that casual players don't. And I think it will be the same with anomalies. Pros will know exactly which anomaly to roll for which unit and which reroll comp. And I think that's just a level of knowledge that casuals or like even master level players will not probably reach without a proper study group. So I think that's why it's important to share this knowledge as well once we start grinding.
There's like 60 plus anomalies, right? So roughly
80.
60 or 80 or something like that. And not only are people going to have to kind of learn what's good through experimentation, etc., but once they do, I think it's going to slightly change the potential economic factor of the game leading into stage 4-6 as well, because some people who are playing a specific line are probably going to want to have enough gold to roll for, their top 3 augment or anomalies, right? So there's a little bit of a micro optimization that needs to be done.
I mean, I was also thinking on I think 2 of my games today when I was doing a fast 8 or fast 9 and I didn't have my 5 cost in yet. I was like, man, before 4-6, do I just roll down to 0, whether that be rolling or spending my gold in order to put the anomaly on the person I want? Like, is that how important it is? Or is it just like, shit, I don't have my, Corgi yet, or I don't have, my Sevka yet. So
Yeah, I think it's definitely more complexity than the charms were. Because in charms, you for sure you roll for a good charm, but you don't roll more than a few times, right?
Yeah.
At the end game. But here it's just a bit more complexity, but also it adds a lot of fun. So there are some really fun augments or anomalies rather, which the one.
Yeah, don't pick the crab one. It's horrible.
The crab bomb, and you turn into a crab, and then when you fly in from the side of the map and stun the enemies, like might not be that useful, but super fun. And also the set itself, I had this impression that emissions, or what is that? Emissaries, and a lot of flex play is allowed for the players at a high level. So I think
every time I look at your board, I have no idea what, like, if it's late game, I have no idea what you intended to play at the beginning. Like, it's just a 5-cost soup of absolute demons.
And I hope it's not only PBE, but I hope it will go live like this. I brought a small clip from one of my emissary games. I think here I played sorcerers, right? And just let me know if you see any suspicious thing on the board. so like it's fucking crazy how I only picked this augment because it increased the size of the unit. And I thought it would be hilarious to see
just a giant rumble,
huge as tank like rolling over everyone here.
That's awesome.
It's just, and also emissary, right? So emissary is a big flex trait where you can just punch a few other units in there and hope for the best. It works with a lot of stuff: sorcerers, Quickstrikers, the Ambusher version as well, the Conquerors. So super fun stuff. The augment side of things, we will be blind to what's broken and what's not. So we need to pay more attention what pros are picking, and maybe watch a bit more streams than just grind. But that's about it. Also very curious to see what are the best in slot items. So that will come with the data when the data starts to trickle in.
I've been experimenting so much with items recently just because there's no real data, and like you just theory crafting in the middle of the game, like, oh, I have this is going to be good on this guy. Then you're rereading their ultimate ability. And like, I think the majority of the time, if I have a backline damage dealer, I'm like I think 90% of the time I've just been like, I'm just going to make a gunblade. I need some sustain. So I feel like gunblade's going to play a big part of the meta or Hodge because of all of the damage that can hit your backline. It feels like nobody is kind of safe just sitting back there this meta.
With all the 5 costs doing damage and Twitch doing damage at the backline, I feel like we need to sustain. Reminds me of set 11 a little bit when there were like things jumping to the backline, Lux is sniping the backline. So
I was having a whinge today that there's just no tiers in the game, and I feel like everyone needs mana regen, and I just can't. There's one tier on every second carousel or something in my game. I get none from crabs, and I'm just like, what am I meant to do here? So I think
maybe especially when AP is so dominant.
When the data comes out, maybe they might need to tune the drop rates for certain items, because like 50 tank items and one tier is just not going to cut the mustard.
I think I doubt that's gonna happen. It will be the same for everyone.
Okay.
Or you just play lots of AD. If you keep getting swords, just start playing.
That's true.
Just to quickly
get
mention,
better.
I'm very curious about best in slot for Rumble, for example, because I felt that unit can almost accept all the tank items.
Yeah, I've been slamming tank items on the Rumble. It seems to work a bit better than. But
Yeah.
he also needs a heal, right? So like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see tomorrow or the day after.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go over the meta prediction, but they just announced like a new patch for the live as well, so it will change everything. I've seen just to highlight a few things. So Automata gets a buff, which is nice. Bruisers gets a buff. Chem-Baron gets a nerf, which is very interesting. And I did want to mention that I feel like this trait is OP because you only go for this trait when you have a good spot. But when you have a good spot, you will have a crazy cash out and you will win the game. So it's you don't really want these traits in a game where you only pick it for a win and you then win 90% of the time. So they're gonna change this up a little bit, I feel, coming. Dominator, they have shield buff and an AP nerf, as I see. Yeah. So it's kind of equal. Emissaries getting nerfed, enforcers getting nerfed, well deserved. Experiments buff, rebel buff. I feel rebel is so weak. I played it twice in the last couple of days, and I went I think double 8 or 8-7, something like this. I felt like I'm doing everything correctly. Champs, Darius Draven, they got hit. Vlad got buffed, which I don't understand why. I think this unit is strong, especially the Black Rose build. Blitzcrank is getting buffed, so Dominator, Black Rose build, I think it's just overall gonna take over the meta. Gangplank Kog'Maw, obviously getting nerfed. I'm not sure if this is enough to remove Kog'Maw from the meta, because it's super strong. And what else here? Echo and Elise again. Black Rose unit, Elise getting buffed. So I think
Yeah, I
they.
feel like Elise falls over, but Echo's very handy. So
Yeah, I thought Echo was pretty strong too. That's going to buff Firelight a little bit as well.
Yeah, yeah. Heimer nerf, Silco buff,
thank God.
Jace
He's
buff.
terrible.
The Jace buff is a huge mistake because already today and yesterday I was checking the top comps what the pros are playing, and also on LoL chess there you can they scrape the history for PBE as well, and every meta comp has Jace now in it. So this Jace buff, I think you will just have to grab all the Jaces when you see one on the live. Malzahar buff, Sevika nerf, which is well deserved, and Mordekaiser, the slam damage was nerfed as well. These are the main things, and then they changed a few of the augments, which I don't think we should go over. They did remove a few really strong ones, but nothing crazy here. So overall, I'm happy that they are balancing, even before the patch is dropping. I think they said they wouldn't, but then
Somebody lost a
thought,
bet.
yeah, but then they thought that it's needed. So happy for that. I hope there's not a need for a B patch, but I feel like this Black Rose Shapeshifters line will be very strong
Form
as well.
swappers. Form swappers.
Form
Oh,
swappers.
yeah, sorry, Form Swappers, Shapeshifters, lost it. Yeah, and just in general, I think the set will be very tempo heavy because there's Scrap, there's Conquerors, two very dominant trait that is very good in tempo, and it's gonna dictate some heavy punishment for the lines that are weaker. So I'm a bit worried that these two will take over. Scrap is already taking over the PB. I think we see at least one Scrap player in every lobby, and I think we will see it in live as well. Scraps and Conquerors.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of family early on,
Yeah.
and I feel is quite weak late game, especially with like powders fitting into scrap comps, violets fitting into pit fighter comps. Everyone has Vanders in a watcher, cog roll. So like, it feels heavily contested even if no one's pushing family. And then scrap is obviously just, you can get whatever items at the start of the game and you can build a decent scrap board just purely because of their trait. So, for me, those are sort of my two. One, the first one is obviously one I would like to be buffed a little bit or, see in the meta just for the lure, and scrap probably needs to be worked on. But like you said,
I think somewhere in the middle of PBE they changed Vander a bit. They nerfed Vander.
Yeah.
And I think it's very viable still with the hero augment, gloves off, or any other hero augment that involves a family member. I think there are a few, but probably not without, or maybe a top 4 at best.
Yeah, they've definitely been adjusting on the go. I actually had very little success with scrap in the beginning. I don't really know what was happening, but I think as I continued to try things out on it, it suddenly started feeling better. And now
I'm looking at your scrap results like 7-7.
Yeah. It like just went up from there, right? I mean, there was nowhere else to go. But now I feel like I'm just like using scrap early to tempo and then swap into a different build depending on what's contested and what's out there. I haven't played enough Conquerors to really give an opinion on it that's intelligible, except for the fact that you guys have all seemed to have success with it. So I think it's probably just because I don't get the Conqueror units, at a certain point in time, and so I just choose a different build. But I might play one or two more and try to force it. If you're saying Conqueror is going to be in every lobby, I think I probably need to figure that out.
Well, they didn't touch Conquerors as a trait, but they did nerf Darius, Draven, and
Mordekaiser. Yeah.
So
Mord. I just feel like there's a 2-star Mordekaiser walking around slamming me early game.
That slam. I mean, it's so satisfying when it's on your side, but it's
it's rough when you're still re-rolling a cog at 4-7.
Well, I think that's actually kind of a substantial nerf to Conquerors with the Darius and the Draven, because actually together they were like if you get a 2-star of each of them, you pretty much just like 5 streaking, I think, from there, and you just fill with anything from like a watcher
and with a Ginzu and any, like if you got a Ginzu, any sort of armor item and those two off the rip, you're easy.
Yeah, so I think it hurts the early game a little bit.
Plus a cash out too, right? Because you get to 10 kills quickly and then 35 or whatever it is.
So that's what I'm talking about.
GP and Savika also is part of that comp or versions of it. So I think they understood the mission here. What Mort is saying, that these units were hit the hardest alongside with Cog and Scar, which was really annoying. I think much more annoying than Conquerors when the fucking one-star Cog just chipping away and you can't kill the watchers up front and you just die to it. Like it's I really hope there's no cancer Cog meta at the launch of the launch of the set.
That would just make it like the launch of set 12 with the Syndra meta, right? That's just basically what would happen.
It's gets worse. But yeah, it's basically that's the case. But that would be a failed launch. Then
Yeah, no,
I don't think
it's feeling okay. I mean, I've had success and failures with like pretty much every single comp that I've tried. So
Yeah.
it's starting to feel
Yeah.
like it's a, you know, get better at picking your spots kind of thing. So that's a good
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah, and then Chem-Baron, so what I just mentioned, they already adjusting the trait. Basically, how it works is that you only play it if you get an emblem early. But if you get an emblem early, either on a golem or you get with the first augment, then it's a super good start. If you get a golem plus you get the trait specific augment, which gives you life back, then that's just a win. So it's not that rare condition to have like a free win. So I think they just need to adjust the trait accordingly.
Yeah, because you're
Basically,
saying like if you lost streak super early and you get
you
to
lost
like
six
what?
super early and you get so much shimmer, and if you cash 500, 5 and 600, they're both really strong and they will win the game 80% of the time. But if you reach 700, which is not even the maximum cash out, if you reach 700, that's a 3-star Silco guaranteed with specific super strong items. And then if you reach 800, then it's a 3-star. What's the 5 cost anyway? The Savika.
Civica.
And so even the smaller big cash out wins you the game, which is like okay.
Yeah, okay. Wow.
You know, and you win the game at 4-2, which should not be the case. And I think it wasn't the case in the previous Fortune sets where you with Heartsteel, for example, you had to pivot out of Heartsteel and still win the game, even though you had a great cash out. But with the 3-star 5 cost, you don't. So yeah, so I think I will still play it when I have the spot for it. It seems very, very, very strong, Chem-Baron. And then what else is in the meta? We have the fast 8 lines, which are maybe I should just pull it up in our tier list, right? So I think Black Rose and Heimerdinger, 2 fast 8 lines, which are super strong, and they will continue to be strong, especially the Black Rose. Black Rose buffs. I think I will just spam Black Rose Dominators.
Yeah.
Black Rose has a few build version. I think in Academy as well, TFT Academy, they mentioned like 3. I also have my version or our version, and then you know there's a few lines that we can play. Just play around the Black Rose units, and the Golem once you reach 5 Black Rose, I think it's OP. So play that. Heimerdinger looks super strong. I only went top 4 with it when I tried.
Yeah, same here. And I think the Heimer Fast 8 is going to continue to stand up as a really, really good comp because other things around it are getting nerfed, basically. So it was already like basically like for me, I didn't get lower than a third. And it's basically a top 4 comp that's just getting better because everything else is getting worse, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I think I have a clip. This is one of my Heimer and game Heimer boards. It's only 6 visionary here. So even with 6 visionary, it's I think this was a double elimination that I did at the end here. Even 6 vision can beat capped out scrap boards. So you don't need an emblem for this.
Yeah, I have similar experience. I played it twice. I got the emblem once. I didn't get the emblem the other time, and I think my first place was without the emblem actually.
Yeah, it might be even better because more front line, right?
Exactly.
I think we will see it in the data how it shapes up.
Yeah.
And then the rerolls, right? So we have in A tier, in our Diamond Dead tier list, we have Watcher Cog, and then Tristana reroll. Family, we already talked about it. And the most fun stuff, which I absolutely love, is the Quickstrikers. I just love this comp. I feel like when Nocturne is going ham, like that's nothing better than the melee reroll comps. Also the Ambusher one, I feel like it's a bit trickier because you might actually need the Firefly emblem for this to work.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I played it.
Okay.
I played it once. I played it without the emblem. I played it dual carry with the Zeri, and yeah, it was like an easy win out. I think I beat some crazy Black Rose capped out board.
Yeah. So 5 Ambusher, 4 Firefly, or
Oh
even
yes.
3 Firefly.
So I remember what I did. I was like I fully loaded Camille, so I went double carry Camille Zeri, and that won out with no emblem. And it was pretty straightforward. So same items on the Zeri, but I 3-star both of them. I think that was it. I didn't really need to fill the Caitlyn or the Jinx with any items at all just to win.
I also feel like, because I played this a few times, I feel like Smeech is low-key strong.
Yeah,
Like
Smeech is always in my backline, man. And
yeah,
he
he can
has,
jump to the backline and start going
yeah.
ham on.
And then that on top
That's
of
good.
Fireflies getting back there, it just it's a nightmare.
We just disregard him because we think it's a Chem-Baron trade bot, but
Yeah,
I think we might see some Smeech rerolls coming our way when
that'd be fun.
it goes live.
I'd love a Smeech reroll.
Yeah, I have a few clips. I think one is the Quickstriker one. I played this yesterday, and I found a RFC early, and then I just decided to go Quickstriker with the RFC. So RFC gives range, right? Once it kills a unit, the range grows. So I just slammed the rage. Like how Nocturne works is that when he casts, he start to damage to the sides as well. So in kind of like in a cone, right? So you want to build. I think the best in slot will be Deathblade and BT plus an attack speed item on him. But this is a fully capped sorcerer board that I'm beating here. On level 7 versus level 9, and this guy is just going ham. I feel like I'm almost losing here, but then it really starts to pop off and it just deletes the entire board. It's really fun here. And then what I have is the Ambusher version. And this was without an emblem. Yeah, I tried to build the same as you did. I think this was based on your game. I tried to mimic it. It was working really well. So I went on a 16 streak yesterday with the Ambusher Fireflies, but then it just fall off, like flatlined, and then I got I think I still got second or third. But
what was your tank?
The
Scar, right?
Scar, yeah.
I think you need the Scar fully loaded for a little bit of extra stall, and the Gunblade is a win condition, I believe.
Okay, yeah, Gunblade. Yeah. Probably for the extra heals, right?
Yeah, because the Gunblade keeps Camille just dives in and starts hitting people, and she takes a lot of damage. And in between casts is when she's vulnerable. So the Gunblade will keep her alive long enough for her to cast again. And then when she casts, she like heals to full or something stupid like that. And then it just keeps going.
Yeah. We'll see what works and what not. I think Gunblade for sure is super important this set. Keep those carries right. Keep those carries alive. Even I'm thinking a Hodge in certain cases. If you don't have any other slam, just Hodge on the carry can work wonders even in the backline. What are some of the comps that are underperforming. I was looking back if they touched Twitch, but they did not touch Twitch at all. Neither did they touch snipers. So
They didn't buff him or nerf him. I felt like he needed a
Yeah.
buff, like almost like a fix, because he's just looks like some crazy animal, just like shooting stuff everywhere.
yeah,
Not
I
effectively.
couldn't get Twitch work at all. I feel like this is one comp I see pros play it because pros think that they will Riot will buff it at some point. There will be a Twitch meta. We all know there will be a Twitch meta at some point this patch, so they are playing it. It's probably not the launch patch then, if it stays the same as it were on PBE. Yeah, other than this, I feel like sorcerers are a bit underwhelming. Don't think that maybe the emissary line is playable with sorcerers slammed into it, but other than that, I didn't see any good comps with vertical sorcerers at least. And there are a few rerolls that we tried to experiment with. Gangplank. I think Gangplank is a tempo / fast 8-9 unit is good, but as a reroll, I didn't feel like it was at least my version of this comp.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a Gangplank early on a scrap build, like that one random 3 cost that pops into your shop, it's super OP, but I feel like
Yeah.
towards the end game, much better having it on your little flying shit, whatever his name is, Corby.
Corby. Yeah, I feel like this probably will at some point also work, but maybe not launch patch. Casio reroll, I tried a few times, failed miserably. I went 8, 7, and 4. I don't know. I didn't feel like that unit is as strong as I read online, and Meta TFT ranked it really high. I just feel it's underwhelming a little bit. And then there are the 1 cost rerolls that we all played quite a bit, I think. The Morgana one that is based on Visionaries, and then the Luxzyra one, which is based on Sorcerers and Sentinels. If I would have to choose between these two, probably the Luxzyra one has more potential because of the Academy items. The extra items are just really strong in a 1 cost line. I had this very interesting game the other day where I took this third prismatic augment, is the one with like sponged or something, or spongy, whatever the name is, something with sponge.
Yeah, where you like steal your neighbor's items, right?
Yeah, and I think this one will be really strong with this line specifically, because you can just stack one of the carries, and then it will give items to all of your tanks or all of your carries at the back. And if you have academy units and academy items, it will give the extra buff to them as well. So this was a cool one because it was Death Cap, 1 academy item, and Gargoyle the other.
Oh my
So
god!
I specifically choose this line because of the items it gave. I think with this with this sponge, when they all get these items, it's just a good comp to play. And I think I ended up second on this game, this lobby.
Yeah, so it's got potential, but it's got like lots of conditions, basically.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's a different play style with all these extra items and navigating through that, where to put them, because you want to put the sponsored items on the academy units because it gives them more. Anyway, so this line is interesting and it has potential. Maybe a little bit underwhelming for me to spam it.
Yeah, I think it's just a pick your spot kind of situation. If you get something like the item combinations you got, like the item combination I got, I can't remember what it I think it was a Shoujin's Warmogs, and I ended up playing the Tristana reroll instead with the frontline.
Yeah, that's not bad either.
Yeah.
I think it's even better because you cast more.
I'm going to have to give it a shot. But what I need to know first is, you know, the quality of my lobbies, Akos. What is your prediction for my hard force guaranteed fourth? That's all I need to know, and that's all the noobs need to know.
You mean which comp?
Yeah, what am I going with? That I can hard force and get fourth.
You probably can hard force a tempo scrap, to be honest. I think
Easy.
that's don't reroll, because hard forcing reroll is very risky. But
Yeah.
we always have enough low tier, low cost scrap units to tempo, and then you just bleed out if you can't manage to pull the board together at the end.
Yeah.
Right?
Nice.
You bleed
All
out
right.
the fourth. Go with that. Anyway, so coming in patch day, how are you guys planning to approach it? Are you gonna grind it out from day one, or what's the
I'm
plan
not
here?
sure. I land from JFK on Friday, so I'm not online till Friday, and then I'll try to play
Okay.
as much as I can on the weekend, as much as the family obligations will allow. So expect some DGen hours, so 3 a.m. messy boards.
Yeah, we probably can do a lobby together at the beginning.
Yeah, I think I'm playing unrated. I think I'm going to just play unrated for a little while, get a little bit more used to the various different starting combinations, and I think wait for some of the different stats to come in first, like biz, biz stats, etc. Right, and just see how things perform, especially with the sort of day before type patch hitting.
Does your first, because I don't really know how the rank system works, does your first few games really impact your climb?
Yes.
Okay, so I can't just jump in first game ranked.
Yeah, you don't want to 8th, like in the first 5 or 10 games. Getting an 8th is super detriment to your climb, right?
Okay.
So you wanna top 4 as much as possible, because you gain much more LP in the beginning, because the system wanna get you back up to where you were as fast as possible. But if you get an 8th, then the system will think that, okay, well, this is your current skill level, and then even if you, after you get a first, you will get lower LP than you would if you didn't break your streak. So I will do the same as Stu. I would probably just play some normals, analyze the stats. I like to dig into tactics.tools explorer and check best in slot there for certain conditions. I enjoy that. And then maybe on Friday I will start my grind. What Mordog does is he also wrote in his post, he took his day off to do hyper roll. So I think I might try that. So in hyper roll, it's basically a faster version. You get higher econ, but the comps are the same. So it's a good way to learn the comps and how to assemble a good build. So I might just spam hyper roll for a few hours tomorrow and see how that works.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then probably just a good advice how you should approach your games, especially the early climbs. Just make sure you pay attention to the first stage econ, because I think that's one of the big beginner mistakes, that if you just commit to a lose streak for the first stage, and I think you're pretty good at that, Toby, actually, already. Lose streaking.
That's my specialty. Oh my god, that is the most backhanded compliment I've ever had.
No, I mean, what I mean is that I've seen you like swapping out units to make your board weaker and stuff. I think that's pretty high level compared to, you started 2 weeks ago. this game. So it's pretty good. Anyway, so commit to lose streak or win streak. If like the worst in your econ is the win lose kind of start. So you don't want to do that at all. And then since tempo is so strong, I think stage 3 is just tempo game. So build the strongest board on 3-1 or 3-2 and just tempo out, and then you can try to play a flex game or just bleed out. But I think that's a good recipe for an early climb from bronze, silver, and gold. You can just focus on econ, and most of the time you just win with econ because those players generally don't really know how to accumulate gold that fast.
Yeah.
So you will be ahead. And we'll be streaming. I think streaming it helps to keep the focus as well. Maybe I will talk to myself if I don't have any viewers. Just I feel saying out loud what I'm doing is helpful. Weirdly, like why am I doing this? Why am I swapping these things out? So I will be streaming, and just learning from my mistakes, watching back replays, analyzing.
Yeah, I'll be streaming too. So you watch me, I watch you. We'll talk about what we're doing out loud.
One viewer each.
Yeah.
Cool.
At least we have one viewer each.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right. Well, I'm itching to play now, so I think we'll call it a night. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Like and subscribe, share with your friends. Also try to follow Axo in my stream. As you know, we're going to be sitting there talking to ourselves, so it should be super entertaining. And we'll see you at the next one.
See you guys. Peace.
Peace.